First of all, it's worth mentioning that this video is dubbed in several languages. Check the audio options for this video on YouTube and see if your preferred language is available. Welcome to the new features in Arttista 2.7.1. Let's start with the new ways of grouping objects and shapes. Let's suppose we want to create a group just for the skull of the skeleton. So we select the skull, the eyes, the facial bones, and the nose, and press Ctrl+G. Let's give the group a name. And now we have two new options here. The first one will make the newly created group start in a lock state. This way, it is protected from edits, but we can still go to the Groups tab and disable the lock for this group, bringing it back to normal. It's also possible to open this window with the lock option already enabled. To do that, simply press Ctrl+Shift+G. The window opens with this option already active. This is great for those moments when we just want to lock a few objects on the canvas. Now, let's talk about that second option. When you press Ctrl+G and the Create Group window appears, this second option makes the newly created group start with a staple. If you don't remember, a staple is an object that staples other objects to it. But what does stapling actually mean? It's a handy feature where, when you select a staple, all the objects stapled to it are selected as well. If I click on the center of the staple, I can move it wherever I want and even change its fill color. But watch what happens when I click inside it, but outside the center. At this point, the staple and all the points in the object stapled to it are selected at the same time, and I can now perform any operation on them. This is great for both illustration and animation, especially when we want to select a specific group of objects directly in the scene, even when the scene is complex and filled with objects and points. If I need to move only the staple or select just the staple itself, I should click on its center. To select the staple and all of the objects stapled to it, I should click on the staples area. It's also possible to change the outline color of a staple. There are also some new features in Arttista's edit panel. Until now, for example, if you wanted to change the size of selected points, you could either adjust it directly using the slider or click on the value display and type the value manually. But now, when you click on this display, a new horizontal window opens, giving you a much larger area to adjust the value with the mouse and much greater precision. All of these controls here now have this functionality. In this version, you can also change the color by double-clicking on this display. This works for both the fill color and the outline color. Other important and very useful changes can be found in the new options inside the GPU tab in Arttista settings. These options control how Arttista renders brushes and pens while you're working inside the application. They don't affect rendering when exporting to PNG or video. They only affect the viewport while you're creating. They're designed to reduce processing load, but each option comes with different trade-off depending on your computer's configuration. It's worth taking a look at each of them, although Arttista already starts with medium setting in balance mode. And finally, the last new feature is also found inside Arttista's settings window. You can now set how many actions Arttista can store, allowing you to use Ctrl+Z to undo them. The higher the number, the more Ctrl+Z operations you can perform, but the more memory Arttista may consume. I hope you enjoyed the new features. Now it's time to create.